The Red Raider baseball team is on a roll after 2 wins over nationally ranked teams over the weekend. We'll have a look at the scores and highlights coming up.
SGA elections wrapped up last week, and a new group of students is set to take over soon. We'll have a rundown of the winners next.
And a well-known department on campus is celebrating a huge milestone today. Find out more about Transportation and Parking's 50th anniversary celebration.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Brandon Medina.
And I'm Will Jackson. Over the weekend, the Texas Tech baseball team traveled to Houston to compete in the Shriners Hospitals for Children College Classic. The Red Raiders faced 3 nationally ranked opponents, giving them their biggest test of the season so far.
That's right, Will. On Friday, Tech met up with former Big 12 opponent Texas A&M for their first game of the weekend. Unfortunately, the Aggies shut out Tech with a score of 9-0, but that's the last time the Red Raiders' bats would be silenced during the Shriners Classic. On Saturday, Tech bounced back in a big way as they faced number 8 Ole Miss. Tech held the Rebels to 1 run, finishing the game with a 5-1 victory. Tech sophomore Steven Gingery pitched 8 innings and struck out 8 hitters as the Red Raiders earned their first win over a ranked opponent this season. Junior outfielder Tanner Gardner also had a great day with 4 RBIs and 2 hits, helping the team put away Ole Miss. Then on Sunday, Tech found a way to improve on Saturday's outing with a walk-off victory against number 2 LSU. The Red Raiders traded runs with the Tigers in the second before Tech scored a go-ahead run in the 7th with a score of 4-3. LSU scored 1 additional run in the top of the 9th to tie the game, but the tie wouldn't last long as junior outfielder Tanner Gardner hit a 2-out single, bringing Cody Farhat in for his final score of the game. Tech's weekend wins bring the record to 11-2 on the season so far. The Red Raiders' performance also helped bring them national attention, jumping 4 spots to number 6 in the weekend's rankings. The team returns home this week for a midweek matchup with Arizona on Tuesday. First pitch at Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. If you can't make it out to the game, you can also watch it on Fox Sports Southwest Plus.
In other news, Tech's Student Government Association is in the middle of their annual transition of leadership after last week's elections.
Vice President of Texas Tech University is Mr. Robbie.
On Friday, the winners of this year's races were announced in the sub-courtyard. Up for grabs were the executive officer positions, Senate at-large seats, and Senate seats for each of the campus's 10 colleges and the law school. 3 of the 4 top positions were decided by last week's election, with only 1 left to be decided by a runoff this week.
This was me last year, all freaked out and nervous and, just a lot of tensions in the air too. But it is finally very relieving that everyone has, they come, they hear the results, and now the real work begins.
After all ballots were counted, Robbie Meyer was voted in as the new president of the SGA, along with Alyssa Payne as internal vice president and Avery Martinez as external vice president. The one executive position still left up for grabs is the graduate vice president position. Neither Shintanu Patil or Cole McNeil received a majority of the votes, leading to a runoff scheduled for later this week. Patil received 337 votes, and McNeil received 275 votes, out of a total of 678 for the graduate position. Candidate Harley Pewitt received 66 votes, which unfortunately left her out of the impending runoff. The runoff election for graduate vice president will be held starting this Wednesday at 9 a.m. Voting will continue until Thursday at 7 p.m., but only graduate students are allowed to vote in this runoff. To participate in the runoff election, visit ttu.edu/vote to cast your ballot. The winner of the final race will be announced Friday at 6 p.m. in the sub-courtyard. For a list of all winners, as well as in-depth interviews with the newly elected executive officers, visit ttuhub.net. Every day, thousands of students take advantage of Tech's parking lots and busing services as they make their way to class. And one department is in charge of making sure students get where they're going as efficiently as possible every semester.
That's right, Will. Transportation and Parking Services is not only one of the most important departments on campus, but it also happens to be one of the oldest. Today, the university held a special event in the Crosland Room of the library to celebrate Transportation and Parking's 50th anniversary. On this day in 1967, the very first bus route between Commuter North and Clement Hall was established. Members of Tech's administration and City Bus acknowledged today's milestone during today's ceremony.
We started looking up some department history about a month or so ago, and we came across that we would be having the 50th anniversary of on-campus busing. And we thought it'd be a great thing to celebrate. Busing is so vital to so many of our students and employees, and what better way to recognize that partnership between City Bus and Student Government Association and Transportation and Parking than with having just a customer service appreciation event today.
Along with today's ceremony at the library, tables were set up earlier in the day in each of the commuter parking lots and the satellite lots where students could get a free cupcake and information about Tech's busing history. Drivers entering campus were also greeted by special signs outside of the parking control booths marking today's milestone. Over the last few weeks, the weather has been pretty unpredictable except for one thing, the wind. Over the weekend, we saw gusts up to 30 miles per hour with a 15-degree swing in high temperatures between Friday and Sunday.
That's true, Brandon, and even though today looks to be nearly a repeat of yesterday's conditions, it looks like the roller coaster of temperatures will make for another unpredictable week. Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. The MCTV Memorial Circle Cam is showing some sunshine cutting through high clouds and dust this afternoon. Wind gusts have been climbing near 40 miles an hour with sustained winds between 20 and 30 miles per hour. Today's high temperature should hit around 80 degrees, continuing the trend of 2017's extremely warm winter. Tomorrow we'll see a drop in temperatures as highs are predicted to stay below 70 degrees, and we'll also see a dramatic drop in wind speeds with only a mild breeze expected. Those changes should lead to a nice mild evening with lows only falling into the 40s. On Wednesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine and the temperatures will rebound into the mid-70s. Winds should continue to stay low, setting up what should be a beautiful day. Overnight lows are forecast in the 50s, so Wednesday evening should be a great time to get outdoors, maybe go to the rec, something like that. And on Thursday morning, we'll start off the day with cloudy skies before the sun returns and brings even warmer temperatures to the area. Thursday's high is predicted to be in the mid-80s, possibly setting the stage for record-breaking temperatures heading into the end of the week. Thursday night will again be mild with clear skies, making for another spring-like evening. Looking ahead, warmer temperatures appear to be sticking around before the last week of winter starts next Monday.
As we mentioned earlier in the newscast, this past weekend was a great one for Tech's baseball team, but they weren't the only team in action. On Friday, the Lady Raider basketball team headed to Oklahoma City to wrap up their season in the Big 12 tournament. Tech started strong with their first-round matchup ending in a victory against TCU 76-58. Tech's second rematch with the Horned Frogs in less than a week gave the Lady Raiders the momentum they needed to face the Big 12 quarterfinals. Unfortunately, their next opponent would be too much to handle as Baylor dominated Tech 95-63 on Saturday. Baylor is currently ranked number 2 in the country, and they were no match for Tech as the Bears gear up for the berth in the NCAA tournament. Saturday's loss was most likely the last game for the Lady Raiders as they finished the season 5-13 in conference and 14-17 overall.
The Red Raider basketball team was also in action this weekend as they hoped to end their regular season with a victory. Unfortunately, the Red Raiders fell 61-48 to Kansas State on the road. Tech started slow and went into halftime down 12 points to the Wildcats. The Red Raiders made some key adjustments during the second half, staying on pace with K-State throughout the rest of the game, but it wasn't enough to overcome the earlier deficit. On Wednesday, Tech heads to the Sprint Center in Kansas City for their first round game of the Big 12 tournament against Texas. They won their last outing with the Longhorns here in Lubbock, and on a neutral court, the Red Raiders stand a good chance of advancing to the Big 12 quarterfinals. Tip-off for Wednesday's game is set for 8 p.m. in Kansas City with TV coverage on ESPNU.
With spring break less than 5 days away, the campus activities are starting to slow down, but there's still a few events for you to fill your time until classes end on Friday. Let's take a look at the MCTV events calendar. Tomorrow you can stop by the University Career Center for the biannual Resume Critique Day. Representatives from the center will be on hand to give you your resume a once-over and offer advice on how to make you stand out from the crowd. You can also bring in any other professional documents that you would like to have reviewed by the Career Center staff. Resume Critique Day kicks off at 9 a.m. and lasts until 4 p.m. Just make a trip to room 150 in the Wiggins complex right next to Sam Place West.
Once your resume is ready to go, you can also get some real-world networking experience during the University Career Center's mocktail party. On Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., the University Career Center will host a special mock reception in the Mackenzie Marquette Alumni Center. The event is designed to recreate a real-world environment where students have a chance to learn how to interact with future clients and colleagues. Along with a professional etiquette trainer, the event also features free food and drinks. The mocktail party is free and open to all students, but you must register to attend. Just visit careercenter.ttu.edu for more information.
And starting on Wednesday, you have the chance to experience a Las Vegas-style show without even leaving campus. Cirque du Soleil's OVO Tour is making a stop at the United Supermarkets Arena starting on Wednesday night. From there, the group will perform 7 shows through Sunday evening. Tickets are still available with prices starting at $25 all the way up to $140. For more info to purchase tickets, visit selectaseatlubbock.com.
So, Brandon, do you have any big plans this weekend before spring break?
I would definitely be headed to the baseball game as well as that resume critique day.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm probably going to go to all the baseball games this weekend, get some sun, hopefully not get burnt like I got at softball this past weekend, but it'll be a lot of fun.
For sure.
That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.